So I moved to North Carolina in 1987, and I met Maria, and Maria started helping me in my ministry, and in 1990 we had our first date, and in 1992 we married. We decided that we were ready to have our family.
And it was a very difficult process for the both of us. Our story of waiting deals with infertility, working with doctors, trying to figure things out, and then ran across someone who came to Salem for a while, and they introduced me to the concept of IVF, which is in vitro fertilization. I thought, oh, okay, so God's telling me that's the route we need to go. Okay, this is going to be it. We had pregnancy with our first round, but then I miscarried. And so it went back to, again, a period of waiting and trying to figure out what that actually meant. Our doctors told us to go ahead and try one more time. It was a failed attempt, and so at that point, I think we both felt like, well, maybe God is telling us this is not what he has for us. Jeff took our choir to sing, our youth choir. And we showed up at a church that was a home church of some members of Salem. And I sat down in the pew to wait for church to start, and it was Adoption Sunday. And that was the moment that I think that God said to me, I have something for you, and it's going to be through adoption.
We started that process. We went through an organization called Bethany Christian Services, and we waited. And waited. And because, we thought, I think both Maria and I thought that it would be, it would take some time, but not 2 years into the process. And there was nothing.
And we were going to have to refill out all the paperwork again because it had been at the 2-year mark. And we put it on a shelf and said, we need to pray because we don't know what God's telling us. I'd heard, wait upon the Lord. He who began a good work when you will be faithful to complete it. Like I knew, strength will rise as you wait, like all those things that you hear around you. But in the waiting, it was not a very easy thing to do. Jeff had been preparing to take our church group to Greece on a trip to minister to missionaries.
We'd been really busy, and I'd kind of neglected my email. And finally, I had a chance to sit down and look at it, and there was an email from Bethany Christian Services.
They have a baby that needs to be adopted. It says she needs to have a family that has a Native American heritage. Wait a minute, they want her to stay in North Carolina. They wanted her to be surrounded by a family that loved music because that was something that they loved. There were so many little details that when we look back over it, God was orchestrating it all the way from the beginning. When in human nature, you try to do all the things that you can do to prepare or to fix or to aid in those things. Like I created this great book that I thought, wow, somebody's going to look at it and be like, man, we want that family. They're so wonderful. And sometimes we have to just completely let it go. And I really feel like that when that second packet came, and it was, okay, now I have to prove to them again, I'm qualified, I have to get references. Okay, God, I obviously couldn't do it, and I don't know what that means. And I really think for the first time, I laid it down. I'm gonna let you talk to me and you tell me what you want me to do, but I really think I thought it was over. And boy, did he show me differently. I tell her every day, God gave you to me, and I pray every day that God grows you to be what he wants you to be. I had to be willing to say, I know what I've wanted. If what you want for me is different, I trust that you're going to bring it. I know what you plan for me is for my good, and I have to be willing to walk in what you have for me.
God is faithful, even when it appears that he's not. When it appears that he's silent, he's really not. He is constantly working, and we just have to be ready to receive his bounty, his goodness, his provision when it's his time. When it's his time. And I think that's really hard. I think it's really, really hard to do that. But it's so worth it. It's so worth it.